Okay, what if I told you the future of global artificial intelligence isn't actually being built in Silicon Valley, but all the way on the western coast of India? Welcome to today's Explainer. If you are a business professional tracking global technology trends, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're unpacking a massive, truly historic megaproject between Meta and Reliance Industries. And look, I want to be clear right up front. This isn't just another standard corporate partnership, not at all. It's a bold, highly strategic move that is fundamentally altering global capital flows and literally redefining the digital world you interact with every single day. Okay, let's dive into this. What if your WhatsApp assistant, your Instagram feed, and all those artificial intelligence tools your business relies on were suddenly powered by a giant technological fortress? And what if that massive fortress was run completely by clean, green energy and cooled entirely by the ocean? I know, it sounds like pure science fiction, right? But it is happening right now in Jamnagar, Gujarat. We are looking at a fundamental shift in the sheer physical reality of modern tech. For decades, the power dynamics of the internet were heavily centralized in the West. But as AI demands unprecedented, frankly mind-boggling levels of electricity and physical infrastructure, tech giants are actively searching for entirely new horizons.
So here is our strategic roadmap for this explainer. First up, we'll look at the AI problem. Second, the green fortress solution. Third, the strategic corporate synergy. And finally, number 4, financing the AI future.
All right, let's get into Section 1, the AI problem, the resource-heavy reality. We constantly hear the buzzword artificial intelligence thrown around in boardrooms and on the news, but we rarely actually discuss its massive physical footprint. To really understand this, we have to compare a standard data center with an AI data center. You know, we talk about the cloud all the time, making it sound like our data is just magically floating up in the sky. But every single photo you upload or every question you type into an AI chatbot, it all has a very physical home right here on Earth, inside a vast, humming data center. Think of your smartphone like a high-end television. The TV itself is great, but it literally cannot show you anything unless it's connected to a heavy-duty broadcasting studio miles away. Data centers are the heavy-duty broadcasting studios of our modern digital age. But the moment you introduce AI into the mix, the engineering demands absolutely skyrocket. You see, a standard data center just handles basic stuff, like storing text or loading a regular web page. An AI data center is a completely different beast. Training modern AI requires processing trillions of data points simultaneously, and it does this using highly specialized, incredibly power-hungry microchips. Just to give you a surprising fact to put this in perspective, a single AI prompt can consume up to 10 times the electricity of a standard internet search. 10 times! Training these complex models basically turns the facility into a giant industrial furnace. If you don't constantly cool these servers down with massive, uninterrupted amounts of electricity and water, the computers will literally melt. Seriously, they will melt. This immense, unprecedented hunger for physical resources has created a severe bottleneck for global tech expansion.
Moving right along to Section 2, the Green Fortress Solution, how they are actually solving this massive bottleneck.
This intense, crazy resource hunger is exactly why Meta sought out Reliance. Meta has officially entered an exclusive long-term agreement to lease a brand-new, built-to-suit AI data center constructed from scratch by Reliance over in Jamnagar. Now, the initial phase of this facility alone is going to deliver a staggering capacity of 168 megawatts. Let's put that number into perspective for a second. Just one single megawatt can power hundreds of homes. So a 168 megawatt facility isn't just a big building, it is a hyper-dense industrial-scale powerhouse that has been explicitly designed from the ground up to shoulder the immense weight of AI processing. And that phrase, built to suit, is absolutely crucial here. It means they don't have to awkwardly try to retrofit old, outdated warehouses. They are designing the physical architecture specifically for the heavy, specialized demands of modern artificial intelligence.
And you know, this brilliance didn't just happen overnight. If we look at the multi-year roadmap, we can trace exactly how we got here. Back in 2020, Meta made a blockbuster $5.7 billion investment into Jio Platforms, which is Reliance's digital arm. Ever since then, they've been co-developing software and quietly laying the groundwork. Fast forward to 2024, and we see the massive 168 megawatt physical agreement officially inked. Reliance has committed to a 2026 delivery target, but the crazy part? They aren't stopping there, not even close. They have built-in options to scale up capacity significantly over the next decade. Because let's face it, AI demands are inevitably going to multiply. This perfectly illustrates how these companies are taking a long-standing software partnership and translating it into concrete, scalable, physical infrastructure.
But here is the multi-million-dollar question. How on earth do you run a 168-megawatt industrial furnace without causing an absolute environmental disaster? Globally, big tech is facing severe criticism right now because their server farms are chugging local electricity and fresh drinking water. Well, Reliance and Meta are tackling this head-on. To prevent draining local freshwater rivers, the massive cooling systems required to keep those AI chips from melting will run entirely on desalinated seawater. Now, wait a minute, computers and salt water? Those usually go together about as well as a toaster and a bathtub, right? Because of this obvious risk, the facility requires incredibly complex engineering. You literally have to pull millions of gallons of water straight from the ocean, chemically strip out every single microscopic particle of corrosive salt, and then push that pure water through giant industrial chillers to provide a perfectly sustainable cooling loop. This setup completely protects the local community's drinking water supplies while keeping those highly sensitive microchips freezing cold. Honestly, it's an absolute masterclass in sustainable engineering.
And to actually power this massive facility, they are going fully green. Meta simultaneously announced that it has contracted nearly 1 gigawatt, which is 1,000 megawatts, of brand new clean energy capacity across India. They're teaming up with local green energy companies like CleanMax and Fourth Partner Energy to build hundreds of megawatts of brand new solar and wind projects. Let's contextualize that massive number for a moment. 1 gigawatt is essentially the power output of a traditional nuclear reactor. But Meta and Reliance, they are generating all of that purely from the sun and the wind. And the kicker is that Meta will bear the full financial cost of all this clean energy and water infrastructure, ensuring that this massive tech expansion happens without spiking regional carbon emissions. It's just a huge environmental win all around.
Okay, part 3, strategic corporate synergy. Let's look at the division of labor. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is exactly who is doing what. To understand the underlying business structure, look at the precise division of labor in this end-to-end lifecycle contract. Reliance is taking on the heavy industrial reality. They have complete responsibility for the architectural design, physical construction, securing the land, running the utility connections, and handling the day-to-day managed services. Because Jamnagar already hosts Reliance's massive oil refinery, they uniquely own the vast tracts of land and heavy-duty utility lines needed to make a project of this scale actually work. Meta, on the flip side, brings the Silicon Valley magic. They provide the cutting-edge AI server hardware, they lease the complete computing capacity, and they shoulder the massive financial cost of the green infrastructure. It is a perfectly balanced division of expertise. Each giant is playing strictly to its core strengths.
And the geographic strategy here goes even deeper than just having land. Jamnagar sits in perfect geographical proximity to India's western submarine cable landing stations. These stations are the physical entry points where massive undersea fiber optic cables actually connect India to the rest of the world. By hooking directly into this global nervous system, the data center completely addresses latency. Latency is simply the technical term for data travel speed. Think of it like the time it takes for a physical letter to travel in the mail. Lower latency means the letter arrives way faster. By hooking directly into these massive undersea cables, this specific facility fundamentally changes the speed of international digital communication for the entire region.
So the absolutely crucial point here is how eliminating this latency gives Meta a massive competitive advantage. You see, India is actually home to Meta's largest global user community. Right now, if you generate an AI image on WhatsApp, your request often has to literally travel across oceans to servers in Europe or America, creating a very noticeable lag. But by bringing this world-class AI engine directly onto Indian soil, data no longer has to cross the Atlantic. For the everyday consumer, this drastically alters daily interactions. Just imagine real-time language translation on your WhatsApp video calls with zero lag, or generating high-definition AI video on Instagram instantly without ever seeing that dreaded buffering circle of death. It creates a significantly faster, entirely frictionless daily app experience that is guaranteed to keep users engaged much longer.
And that brings us to our final section, financing the AI future. Let's talk about the big picture.
We've spent some time zoomed in on the apps, but let's zoom all the way out to the macroeconomics for a second. This facility is going to act as a massive magnet for future international data center investments. When a global titan like Meta specifically chooses India for its critical AI infrastructure, it formally validates India as a premier global AI hub. It creates what economists love to call an infrastructure moat. Once the ultra-high-capacity power grids and those underwater data lines are built and proven to work at scale, other global titans will absolutely follow the capital. It signals to the rest of the Silicon Valley elite that they need to bring their investments here if they want to stay competitive. But more importantly, it fundamentally shifts India's global position. It moves them from merely being a massive marketplace that consumes foreign technology into a sovereign digital power player that actually hosts and processes it. This is a monumental shift in global tech dynamics, and practically speaking, on the ground, it creates a massive ripple effect on the local economy. We are talking about the creation of permanent, high-value industrial and tech jobs. This ranges from the specialized construction experts and advanced thermal engineers building the site today, all the way to permanent, high-paying roles for cybersecurity experts, network administrators, and renewable energy technicians who will run this fortress for decades to come.
Summarizing this profound business synergy, both Mark Zuckerberg and Mukesh Ambani have hailed this partnership as a transformative moment for the digital economy. And for all the business professionals watching this explainer, this right here is your blueprint. It proves that the absolute biggest bottleneck of AI growth, which is power and cooling, can be effectively solved when massive global capital finally aligns with brilliant, sustainable engineering. It really is a working template for the future of heavy technological infrastructure.
Which leaves us with a critical, massive question to end our explainer today. As global tech giants start moving their physical, multi-million-dollar AI engines directly into India, setting entirely new standards for data speed and green sustainability, how is this expanding footprint going to impact the strategic future of your own industry? Are you actually prepared for the massive macroeconomic shifts we've just uncovered today? Thank you so much for learning with us, and I highly encourage you to keep diving into the fascinating physical infrastructure that is powering our digital future.